Hi everyone, it's Shotzi for the Rough Cuts. I'd like to wish you all a happy Valentine's Day. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about two movies, one new movie and one older movie. First one I'm going to talk about is A Good Day to Die Hard. It's coming out in theaters later on today. And this is actually the first Die Hard movie that I've ever seen. I haven't seen the first four, so I was going in this without really any expectations. All I knew going in is that people really liked the first three, didn't care much for the fourth one, and Bruce Willis never seems to die in any movie, no matter what you do to him. So that it kind of held true for this. He went through a whole lot in this movie, and not really spoiler, he didn't die. What happens is he finds out that his son, who was in Russia, and he's been estranged from him for several years, he gets in trouble, he's in prison for killing a man, so he goes over to Russia to try to get him out. So what happens is that he finds out that his son isn't really the delinquent that he was led to believe, but he is in fact a CIA operative who was on the rescue mission of a political prisoner. Now, the political prisoner is in there because he used to be a very, very bad person, and his partner is going into politics. Meanwhile, prisoner has had time to think things over, and he wants to make a new lease on life for himself. He's at peace with the things that he's done, and he just wants to move forward without causing any trouble. But he holds the key to the dirty past of the new up-and-coming politician, and so they want to get rid of him. Now, that's where everything kind of takes a crazy turn, because they try to break out the political prisoner, and everything goes to hell, basically. So you have a lot of chase scene, an awesome chase scene, actually, one of the best I've ever seen. Chase scene, a lot of explosions, and that's pretty much the movie. I mean, there's some, build up of, the whole, angst between father and son. There's a lot of kind of family drama in this, and I think they're trying to make a whole, bond about family and how important that is in various aspects of this movie. It's okay. It isn't spectacular. It's good for an action movie, but it's not great. I do suggest seeing it in the theater simply because it's a lot more spectacular in the theater than I can imagine seeing it at home. But, give it a try. But it's entertaining enough to be able to just go see it and enjoy it. One thing that bothered me, though, the whole last sequence, because when the political prisoner and the partner were together, something very bad happened in the past. I'm being very vague about this on purpose. Something very bad happened in the past, and they just abandoned everything. So this was supposed to be, literally behind closed doors for quite some time. And you know this because of a comment that one of the people makes when they go in there. And the item that the prisoner has, the thing that he possesses to get in there, that wouldn't have been possible when this whole thing took place. That really bothered me. That bothered me so much because that kind of technology just, I really don't believe existed at the time. So that really bothered me. Other than that, yeah, it's entertaining. It's an entertaining movie. Go check it out. Also, Yulia Snigir, I have no idea how to pronounce her last name. She's not just eye candy in this movie, as the trailer would lead some people to believe. She actually has a pretty significant role in the movie, and it's not as eye candy. So, keep that in mind. Pretty as she is, they don't just have her as some, bimbo in this. Next movie, be talking about Under the Yum Yum Tree from 1963. And this is a movie about a young couple and their landlord. Now, it's starring Jack Lemmon, Carol Lindley, and Dean Jones. A lot of people like Dean Jones from the Herbie movies. Jack Lemmon in this plays just a disgusting, lecherous man who owns an apartment complex that houses only beautiful women in it. Carol Lindley is such a young, beautiful woman. She's a college student looking for a place to live. The place is so inexpensive that she can't really say no to it. So she moves in. However, and this is very progressive for the time, she wants to move her boyfriend in as well. But they'll be sleeping in completely different sections. So like everyone is really against this whole idea because it seems extremely progressive and very, very taboo. And they address this in the movie. But like Jack Lemmon's character, he allows it, much to his chagrin, but he wants to make sure the boyfriend never touches her because he wants her to break up with him so that she will bed down with him because he's trying to get in with all of the women that are in this. Basically, if you ever watch Family Guy, he is Quagmire. That, I'm convinced Seth MacFarlane watched Under the Yum Yum Tree numerous times to base Quagmire off of Jack Lemmon's character Hogan in this movie. I mean, even his apartment kind of looks like Quagmire's house. So I definitely think there's some influence there. It can't be just pure coincidence. There's just too many similarities. So you have Jack Lemmon, who's a sleaze, just ultimate sleazeball, trying to get into the pants, or rather the skirts, of all the women that are there. Carol Lindley and her boyfriend are in this apartment, and they're showing how difficult it is to live together, and just basically saying, you know, they can't do it. It's not possible to live harmoniously together if you're a couple and not have anything happen. So like even in the 60s. And then things progress. It's entertaining. Also, Paul Lynde is in this movie, always adding some sort of like comic relief. Because a lot of this movie is just basically Jack Lemmon trying to break into the apartment so he can be a pervert. You know, he even resorts to getting the girl drunk, trying to take advantage of her. He's a sleaze. He's a real sleaze. And it's surprising that Jack Lemmon is playing this kind of character, because usually he plays a nice guy, but at least in comedic roles, he usually plays a nice guy. But in this, total sleazeball. Total sleazeball. So if you're a fan of Jack Lemmon, you may not like this movie. This was actually his least favorite movie that he had ever done. It's entertaining enough, something that you don't have to think about. It's a real, like, just spoof on the whole California culture of the 1960s. Check it out. Under the Yum Yum Tree, 1963. Jack Lemmon, Carol Lindley, Dean Jones. I will see you all next time. Until then, goodbye. Happy Valentine's Day.